Pakistan's merchandise exports to North America recorded nearly a 9% growth in the first 4 months of FY25, driven primarily by increased textile and clothing exports to the United States. According to State Bank of Pakistan data, exports to the U.S. rose by 9.39% to $2.037 billion, compared to $1.862 billion during the same period last year. In Canada, exports grew modestly by 2.9%, totaling $131.79 million, while exports to Latin America showed a notable 27% rise to $19.037 million. However, exports to Central America remained largely stagnant at $60.525 million. South America presented mixed results, with exports marginally increasing by 0.32% to $111.714 million. Exports to Argentina fell by 27.62%, while exports to Brazil declined by 0.77%. Meanwhile, imports from North America surged by 28% to $819.27 million, and imports from South America soared by 86.83% to $296.66 million, underscoring the region's importance as a trade partner. The United States continues to dominate as Pakistan's primary export destination.
New details now tonight about the fiery crash that killed 3 college students in Piedmont. Today, officials released their names while sharing memories from their families about the young lives lost. Soren Dixon, Krista Sukahara, and Jack Nelson died when the Tesla Cybertruck they were in crashed. A 4th person who was injured in the crash remains in the hospital. All were 2023 graduates of Piedmont High School and were home for the Thanksgiving holiday. Today, the city released statements from the families of all 3 fatal victims. Soren Dixon was a student and lacrosse player at USC. His family wrote, "Soren lit up a room, made friends easily, and had a unique ability to make everyone feel welcomed and valued." Krista Sukahara was a sophomore at Savannah College of Art and Design. Her family says she'll be remembered for her kind and sensitive heart, love for her family and friends, and her incredible eye for style and design. Jack Nelson attended the University of Colorado. His family remembered his adventurous spirit, saying he cared deeply for other people and had a strong faith he proudly shared through the cross he wore every day. Now, there is still no word on the cause of the crash. The California Highway Patrol is investigating, and the Chronicle reports the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is also part of the probe.
Moving on, 4 people have died and over 122,000 people have been displaced in Malaysia after worst monsoon floods in years hit the Southeast Asian country. Floods are a common sight on the east coast of peninsular Malaysia between October and March, which is the monsoon period. This week's torrential rain has led to mass evacuations, mostly in the northeastern state of Kelantan that borders Thailand. Malaysia's Kelantan and Terengganu remains the worst hit regions. It is not just Malaysia battling floods, but Thailand as well, where rescue teams are toiling hard to deliver food and relief supplies in flood-stricken areas for the 4th day in a row. The death toll from flooding in southern Thailand has risen to at least 9, and the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation said on Saturday.
ก็พยายามเก็บเราก็เก็บทุกอย่างไว้ก่อนแล้วค่ะแต่บางสิ่งบางอย่างที่เรายกไม่ไหวเพราะว่ามันเคยเจอเมื่อปี53ตอนนั้นเรายังอายุไม่เท่าไหร่แต่นี่มาคืออีก14ปีเนี่ยไม่ไหวแล้วคือขอภาวนาอย่าให้เหมือนกับ53
Normal life has come to a standstill in Thailand with no access to basic amenities amid floods. Close to 13,000 people have been evacuated to 200 temporary shelters across country's southern provinces. Thailand's meteorological department has warned of heavy rain, flash floods and waves up to 3 meters high across 9 southern provinces due to strong monsoons. All right, moving to our coverage of the Russia-Ukraine war, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says NATO support could end hot stage of war. And at this stage of the war, Ukraine is willing to regain its annexed territories from Russia. And Russia, on the other hand, has warned Ukraine against its NATO ambitions. And for more, watch this report.
One of Europe's fiercest armed conflicts since World War II, the Russia-Ukraine war has resulted in thousands of deaths and massive destruction of infrastructure. Moscow's attack on Ukraine's energy facilities has left over 1 million households without power. With Washington's permission, Ukraine is striking deep inside Russia with US-made long-range missiles. But it is a race against time, with US President-elect Donald Trump promising to end the Russia-Ukraine war soon after he takes the office. Ukraine is desperate for a solution that will not worsen its position. Ukrainian President Zelensky has even held out the possibility that his country could cede territory to Russia, temporarily in exchange of a NATO umbrella over the territory that Ukraine still holds.
But if we want to stop the hot stage of the war, we should take under NATO umbrella the territory of Ukraine that we have under our control. That's what we need to do fast. And then Ukraine can get back the other part of its territory diplomatically.
And that is a big come down. Kyiv had all along stated that it will continue to fight Russia till Ukraine return to its internationally recognized borders. These include Crimea as well as the 4 regions annexed in 2022: Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk and Zaporizhia. Now, Ukraine has opened itself to other security guarantees to achieve peace. But Russian President Vladimir Putin is adamant on his demands, one of which says that Kyiv must give up its NATO ambitions and surrender the 4 provinces claimed by Moscow. The Russian president has warned Ukraine it may even strike decision-making centers in Kyiv with its new missile.
As has already been said, we will respond to the ongoing strikes on Russian territory by Western-made long-range missiles, including by possibly continuing to test the Oreshnik in combat conditions, as was done on November 21st. At present, the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff of the Russian Army are selecting targets to hit on Ukrainian territory. These could be military facilities, defense industry enterprises, or decision-making centers in Kiev.
Putin claims the use of several Oreshnik missiles in one strike would be comparable in its devastating power to a nuclear weapon. The war has been in Russia's favor in recent months. With its advantages in manpower and equipment, it is pushing Ukrainian forces back in eastern areas. The growing military relations between North Korea and Russia is also worrying the West. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un calls Ukraine's use of long-range weapons a result of direct military intervention by the United States. Kim believes Moscow is entitled to fight in self-defense. And amid the war weariness, President Zelensky's popularity is fading. According to a recent poll, most voters would prefer that he does not seek a second term. The poll by the Social Monitoring Center surveyed 1,200 Ukrainians and found that as few as 16% of Ukrainians would vote to re-elect him for a second term. The poll has also revealed that about 60% would prefer Zelensky not to even stand for re-election. It remains unclear when Ukrainians will be able to choose their next president. Zelensky's term of office ended in May, but new elections are suspended indefinitely under martial law that was introduced at the start of the Russian invasion. Bureau Report, Beyond, World is One.
But if we want to stop the hot stage of the war, we should take under NATO umbrella the territory of Ukraine that we have under our control. That's what we need to do fast. And then Ukraine can get back the other part of its territory diplomatically. So, and this proposal has never been considered by Ukraine because no one has ever offered that to us officially.
Well, tonight we're learning about two new nominees for President-elect Donald Trump's upcoming administration. Trump has nominated a Florida sheriff in Hillsborough County, Chad Chronister, to be the next administrator of the DEA. He's worked for the sheriff's office since 1992 and then took the top spot there back in 2017. Trump has also tapped longtime associate Kash Patel as FBI director, replacing current director Christopher Wray. During Trump's first term, Patel served in intelligence and defense roles, including chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense.
Prime Minister, was it a productive meeting with President-elect?
It was a productive conversation.
Just hours after meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Trump has a new tariffs threat. This time, it's against the group of countries known as the BRICS. That includes China, Russia, and Brazil. He said if they try to shift away from the U.S. dollar in international trade, he would impose a 100% tariff on all their goods.
The 44-year-old Patel would replace Christopher Wray, whom the former president chose back in 2017. Patel grew up in Garden City and is a graduate of Pace University Law School.
There may not be much rest over the holidays for the incoming Trump administration. The president-elect has been working at a fever pitch to build out his team and prepare for his first few months in office. As Doug Luzader reports from Washington, Republicans are raising expectations for an expansive agenda in Trump's first 100 days.
Thank you very much. Wow.
When President-elect Trump took the stage to claim victory after the election, he didn't exactly tamp down expectations.
This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
And while the White House and Capitol Hill may be quiet for now, just wait.
It's going to be a very aggressive first 100 days of the new Congress.
Trump, along with his fellow Republicans, has set the bar high. And his first days in office are likely to include a slew of executive orders to undo parts of the Biden agenda, spur energy production here at home, and secure the nation's borders, laying the groundwork for mass deportations. And both sides are spoiling for a fight.
The American people have had enough. They want real change, and Donald Trump is going to bring it.
It is unconstitutional to do what Donald Trump is trying to do. And so we're going to push back every single step of the way.
But what's unusual about the Trump presidency is that this is really going to be his second first 100 days, and we can look back to his first 100 days back in 2017 as something of a guidepost.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Back then in 2017, by April, the first Trump administration was celebrating that first 100 days, issuing this list of accomplishments. At the time, Trump laid claim to 30 executive orders and the passage of 28 laws. His record this time could be similar as he seeks to rein in government bureaucracy and regulations.
It looks to me like a recipe for nonstop political warfare.
That warfare is almost certain, as are the legal challenges, with Trump hoping to pick up where he left off. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has warned BRICS member countries over attempts to undercut the U.S. dollar. Trump threatened to impose a 100% tariff on the BRICS group nations if they did not commit to not creating a new currency or supporting another currency that will replace the United States dollar. The statement comes after a BRICS summit held last month in Kazan, Russia, where the countries discussed boosting non-dollar transactions and strengthening local currencies. Trump issued the 100% tariff warning in his latest post on social media platform Truth Social, adding that if BRICS do not make the commitment, they should expect to say goodbye to selling into the wonderful U.S. economy. Trump has vowed to pursue a protectionist agenda, threatening hefty tariffs on neighbors and rivals. Trump said there was no chance that BRICS will replace the U.S. dollar in international trade, adding that any country that tries should wave goodbye to America. He further said they can go find another.
President-elect Donald Trump is expanding his call for tariffs on goods imported to the U.S. On Truth Social today, Trump threatened 100% tariffs on a group of 9 nations if they try to replace the U.S. dollar. It's after Trump announced he will impose a 25% tariff on imports from both Mexico and Canada. Trump had what he called a productive meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago on Friday. Trudeau warned of the negative impacts tariffs could have on American consumers.